Last night I heard my mama singing a song. Oh yeah, chirpy, chirpy, cheep, cheep. Oh, well, am I chirpy, chirpy, cheep, cheep today? Well, we're about to find out. It's the last Saturday of the month, so we're going to be going through the Vanguard, see how well we've done with it, and kind of try and give you something to think about. Now, I've just come back off holiday.
What? Again?
I had a wonderful time out with the guys with Scruff in the Sun and Benidorm. And how do I put this? Kind of makes you put life into perspective. Life's worth living. And if we look at the political climate that's in the UK at the moment, it's crap. And it's one of the few times that I've been on holiday where I really didn't want to come home. I loved the place. You know, I never thought I'd ever say that, but I genuinely had a good time. And Joanne did as well. Now, as we are moving into retirement, you know, I'm 55 now, so my kind of working days are about done. Got a bit of money. We're thinking about what's going to be our next forever house. So I've decided I'm going to do a pot for that as well. So I'm going to show you that. But let's break things down a little bit. But first of all, I better have a coffee. Because it's coffee with Scruff. And we all know Scruffy likes a coffee. And I've been chugging this because I'm knackered. Why? Because I've literally just got home. So, let's have a little bit of a think about something, shall we? I'm a big believer in breaking everything down to its smallest denominator. It's how I trade, it's how I work things out. And one of the best analogies I can give is kind of golf. Now, bear with me, and I'll kind of explain this. Because when you're playing golf, you might be playing in a team, but essentially it's you against you to get down into the hole. All right. Now, if you're not a golfer, some of the analogies might go over your head, but the general idea is the same. Now, for those of you who are not golfers, it's very simple. You can have an 18-hole course, and it's given what's called a par. Now, a par is roughly how many shots it takes to get into the hole. So if it says it's a par 4, you've got essentially 4 shots to get it in the hole. All right. Now, a lot of golfers do what's called sort of shore golfing. And what that is, they drive for shore. In other words, they're trying to hit the big hitter, but they don't put for door. Now, everything that we do is about getting it in the hole. So if you've got 4 shots, use them. So that's kind of the analogy I'm going to go with. So let me just flick onto a basic spreadsheet first. And I'm going to show you quickly how to work things out. So this is a golf course in Durham where I play. I haven't played for a while. Beautiful course, by the way. Is that my brother? Actually, could be because he's banging to this. So what you've got, hole by hole, you can see. And there you go. That hole 1 is a par 5. So you've got 5 shots to get from there into the hole there. Okay. But just to make it easy, just so you can see what's going on. There's the pars. Down here, 18 holes. So bear in mind, I'm going to work on that principle. Okay?
How did that gobshite get on the television?
All right. So let's build this up. So the first thing that we need to establish is, what do you want to achieve? Do you want £10,000? Do you want £1,000? Do you just want £500? Well, let's look at 500 quid. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to put our sort of entity here, what we want, which is 500 quid. Now, as I'm doing this, as I say, I'm going to kind of show you how to build up a spreadsheet in such a way that it might make you think about what you're doing. All right. Let's make this a bit bigger. Let's make it nice and bold. Okay. All right. So you're looking for 500 quid. Now, you might be thinking, why a golf course? What's going on here? Well, there's approximately 20 days working, 18 holes, 20 days. It's pretty close. So why not? So first thing is you need to work out your working days. So days across here. 1. Now rather than type it all out, if you go equal, whatever it was before, plus 1, just like so, and then you can just drag it across till you get 18. 18. There you go. Put a bit of colour into it. You know, I'm not going past the other side, so do that. So drag a bit of colour into it. Okay. So there we go. Make it a bit bigger, so looks a bit impactful. All right. 14. Centralise them. Bit bold. All right. So we're talking about the rate card and a par, etc., etc., etc. Well, the pars are your trades. So let's see how many trades you're going to do each day. Now, if I run down the rate card, it's a 5, 3, 4, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, and 4. Well, there's your front 9. Then it's 4, 5, 4, 4, 5, 3, and then 4 to the end. Okay. So that represents how many trades you're going to take each day. Now, I know you're saying, well, but the difference, that's the whole point, because some days are harder than others. And this is it's kind of trying to show you how a month can be built, but inside a shaky plan. So what we've got essentially is there's the trades you're going to take on any given day. Now, if you added all them together, what it can also start showing you is this over trading? Because across that 18 days is 71 trades. Now, I see people taking sort of 8, 9 and over 10 to 20 trades in a day. They're doomed to fail. They genuinely are. At least this is capping it down and you think about what you're doing. Now what you've got to do is think, well, how much should each trade make in order to get me to my 500? Well, the first thing you need to do is, well, if that's the goal, what about break it down to a day or a whole? So how much do I need to make per day? Well, that's quite simple. It will be 500 divided by 18 makes 27 quid. Now this starts to become a little bit doable. Little bit, let's just say, more realistic. So you know you're looking for 27 quid in a day. And it's not that hard. Especially when you start breaking it down into individual trades. So what does each one need to do? So each trade needs to achieve this. And just do a very simple formula. And it equals, well, that's what I need to do on a day. And I can divide it by that. All right. So on a par 5 day, and what I need to do is this. So if you put a little $sign either side of that, that locks that in place. On these trades, each one needs to be 556. And then if you pull that across, it shows you now categorically what you need to do each day. Now it's not that difficult. It's not that difficult at all. Because you know what you're looking for is 27.78. Now, if you take 5 trades to do it, you're going to be doing £5 for each trade. Now, some days you might nail it. You know, you might actually get to your goal in only 3 trades. 926. But what if you did it in 2 trades? Well, now you're 1 under. If you ever played golf, they'll understand that. 1 under means you didn't need to take the 3rd shot because you did it in the first 2. You might even hit a hole in 1. That's right. Do all 27 quid in 1 trade. And essentially what I'm kind of trying to get at here with this analogy is everybody runs at the chart really hard. And I've got to get it in. I've got to get it in. I've got to get more trades in. No, you need less. That's just showing you how to do 500 quid in 18 days, just following simple processes. Now, trading is very unique to each person. Golf is very unique to each person because we all have different gaits, and what that means is it's our stance, it's how you walk, and it's how you stand, and one thing and another. So therefore, your swing will be completely different. People use different grips. I use an interlock, which is that. Those are locked together, thumb inside the palm and across. And it means my hands work in sequence together. Some people use an overlap. To me, I find it a bit loose. Some are locked together like that. And again, it's loose. Whereas that works for me because whatever's going on, the hand is linked together. But we all do things in different ways. And it doesn't matter as long as you're comfortable and you're at ease. Now, some people use a full swing, a 3/4, a half swing. It's not a problem. You know, you can have an open stance, closed stance. You know, doesn't matter. As long as you're comfortable and you are aiming at the same goal.
Drive the amazing golf ball whacker guy.
Because you get 2 guys standing on the tee and they're both call them par traders. In other words, they will trade to par without getting into handicaps for those who don't play. You've both got to get into that hole in 5 shots, 4 shots, 3 shots, whatever the par is.
Golf requires goofy pants and a fat ass.
Trading is the same. If you're aiming for 500 quid, don't try and do it in the first 2 days. You've got 18 to do it. Hope that makes sense. Something for you to think about. The thing with trading is most people think they're experts, but most people don't make a lot of money. So who does? It's the ones who plan it out. You don't have to be super intelligent to be a trader. You just have to be very thoughtful and disciplined. Now, for me, I have my way. It works very consistently. I show you it all the time. And the ones who I see not being consistent are the ones that overtrade.
I want more.
So if you're on a par 3 hole, you've got 3 shots. Just use them wisely. Let's have a little look at the Vanguard. Now, I've changed it slightly because, being on holiday to give us ideas, and the forever house is now in our mind. I've added an extra pot to it. So let me just fire something up.
Well, we're waiting.
And I'll just put this back. Okay. Now, this is a bugger. Just have to move it down a touch. You'll see there's an extra bit here. Okay. What that represents is a house I'm going to buy, or going to look to buy. And I think moving costs and everything, I need an additional £100,000. So last month I dumped 10,000 quid in a bank account. I'll show you it. And I've added 1642 to it this month. And I'm going to monitor them as well. In fact, what I'll do is, because of the way this spreadsheet's shown, I'll swap it round. What I'll do is, if you bear with me just a second, if I cut that out from there and I insert it over here, then I'll be able to cut that. I'll insert that over there. That's it. That should tidy things up a little bit. Yeah. Okay. That'll do. I'll do it that way instead. I'll piss about with it. Because that pot rail, well, I can still see the dates. Anyway, right. Okay. Ah, dear me. In other ways, I could drop this down a bit. It's been a long day, boys and girls. Anyway, I'm looking to put 100 grand into here over the course, maybe it's the next 18 months to 2 years. All right. So it's 100 grand that I want in there, or there or thereabouts. Yeah. If I do 50, I'll be quite happy with 50 as well, to be honest. But at the moment, this needs updating because, as you can see, it's doing quite well. We're 95%. I updated it the other day. I've been putting a little bit money in, but I've been away a bit. I've got another couple hundred quid to drop in, which I'll do a little bit later. In fact, should I do it now? And then you can see it go in. Yeah, I will. Give us a second. I'll just log in.
Who'd be stupid enough to do that?
Justify, stupid.
Right, guys. Checked in. Let me just widen that out a bit. There we go. Now, what I've also done is I've just done because it's not in here. It's a savings account I've got. There's that 11,642.19. Now, I'm going to change this into another account. It's getting about 3% interest on this. And I need a bit more than the other are, because I have a tax account that I save in. And then I put money away for my grandkids as well, which is what this will be. Anyway, so there's that. I've got a 193.89 to now pay into this. Okay. So if I go to the investments, I'm going to be topping up this one. So I'm not bothered about the cash just yet. So 189.93. Is that what I said? Or was it a bit more than that? Do you know something? My brain, 93. Hey, dropped a right clanger there, haven't I, kids?
Yeah, tit!
193.89. Is that right? Oh, dear me. Yeah, that's right.
What is wrong with you?
Okay, we're back on track. Scruff, get some coffee down here. Get some coffee down here, son. Right. So, yeah, it is there. Okay. I agree to what's going on. Payment, debit. Now, this will end up inside the cash. And as you saw, there was a $5 in, so you'll see that jump up. Right, I'm just going to pause the camera while I put my card details in. Okay, guys, so there we are. Visa debit using that. So submit it. It's probably going to ask me, or it mightn't this time because it's under 200 quid, but sometimes it asks for a verification code. Come on, there we go. Oh, no, it's gone through. That's all right. So go back to the portfolio and the investments, and there you go. So it's topped up. So this is what the portfolio is worth at the moment. 146,249. Now, I keep track of it on here. So give me a second while I just fill this in. So what we are looking at, essentially, is if we look at the overview, we can see in the pension side, there is 102,085.64. And on the ISA side, 144,163.70. Okay. And this is the investments. All right. So it's 146,24934. So my sheet is up to date because I like to do that. So it's identical. You can see exactly what's going on with this. And then I'll shut it down and then we'll be starting November's. So we've done quite well. We've got quite a bit of money into this. You know, a couple of grand has gone in. And then we've got a decent return on the interest as well. And this is the beauty, because as it grows, the interest starts getting massive. All right. And this is what this is all about. Okay, so we'll save that. And then drop this back down into performance. Now, I keep this relatively simple. I have two all caps, both global. One's based on the FTSE. It's got 7,000 odd companies in it, so it kind of weathers out the storm. And then this one, which is cheap units, which you saw me build up from a couple £100, and I keep banging money into that. Well, that's like 23,500 now. Now, in January, I'll have a chance to close them into one fund. But what's the performance on it over the last year? Well, if we go from the inception, or from the year on, so from the 25th of October last year till now, that equity curve is outstanding. It is really good. But this is the bit that you need to kind of look at. This bit here. My trades that you've seen me take, because I get people pulling me all the time. Where do you put your money? All the time. I'm like, it goes here. On top of my salary, on top of the 10 grand that you just saw me dump in another account, I've put into this nearly £33,000. This is the power of compounding all the time. And inside of that, the investments have made me nearly £20,000, which is here, because it's growing on its own. And then there's the growth factor for you. It's doing phenomenally well. And if you go through these Coffee with Scruffs where I update the Vanguard, you'll see it is bouncing forward. Now, that's essentially me putting my money where my mouth is when I'm going to trade. When you see me make 500 quid here, 500 quid there, even sort of 20 and 30 quid goes in there. In fact, I'll show you. Give us a sec. Transactions. This is a good way of doing it. Okay, because you can see it getting built up. 193.89, that's what I've just put in. 500, 250, 125, 197, 125, 5F, 469. See, when you see me do my profits, there they are. One after the other. Constantly going in. You know, make a bit, dump it in there. Make a bit, dump it in there. And I alternated between the pension and the ISA, because I'm only allowed 20 grand in the ISA a year, and I can easily fill that up. So I have to sort of put it somewhere else as well. And the thing with the pension side is I also get tax relief from it, because it's a pension. So one's tax-free, get a bit of tax relief off the pension side, and I'll pay the taxes when I draw it out. And it's just being efficient, you know, because my tax bill at the end of each year, which is another reason why I have a savings account, which is just tax, I automatically put money in there, and then when I get my tax bill, I don't have to fight for it, I just pay it. And then that's it, and then I do the next year. Because it's all run as a business. But it's also run in such a way that it's compounding for me all the time and making my life easier. Now that's the power of trading, guys. It's all about planning. It's not about the charts. You can go to the chart, flick a coin, have good money management, and you're pretty much 9/10 of the law there. If you go to the chart without a plan, you're screwed. Now, I've just shown you, you don't need to make a lot of money each day to hit 500 quid. In fact, it's less than £30 a day. Less than £30 a day in 18 days, you get 500 quid. Well, if you do that consistently and say you did it for 10 months, well, that's 5 grand. 5 grand can be a small car. You know, certainly be a good holiday like what I've just had. Or it can set you up for a bigger fund next year. And that allows you to have a month to be wrong and have a month off. 2 months free gratis.
I'd buy that for $1.
Trading's not difficult. The hard part has been and always will be you. It's your greed, your addiction. I did a video on that the other day because addiction's a big thing, you know, and I'm pretty brutal with the way that I am. You know, you constantly trying to trade on a Friday afternoon and then contact me at 2 o'clock saying, I'm looking at this setup. I tell you, fuck off, because you're an idiot. Because that's exactly what you are. You're gambling, you know. Come to me on a Tuesday morning and you say, I'm looking at this setup. I'll go through it. I'll break it down and I'll do it and I'll show you it. But why is that? Planning. I know Monday morning's a nightmare. Don't even really look at the charts till after 10:30 because I need the markets to settle down with a view to go to market on the afternoon. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are my trading days. Friday is my day off. And if I want to go and do a little bit, well, I can do a little bit on a weekend. I'll just go to Bitcoin. It's fast and it moves around a little bit, but I'll treat it with kid gloves because it's fast. Planning. Everything I do is around planning and trying to get from this point to that point, but do it in little steps. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Cherish your thoughts. If you want to come along and speak to me, I'm in the squad every single day. If you want to see exactly how I trade, you will see it in the squad every day. I go live on Zoom pretty much every working day, and you can ask me anything you want, you know, and I'll show you. And I do it there and then. Can't be any fairer than that. And if not, drop on my website. You'll find all my contact details there. And I'll always stalk. I'll get plenty of stalkers myself, to be honest. Fuck you know.
What?
I do. And that's where this comes in, because there is some knobheads of the week. You know, ask people to leave me alone because I was having a fortnight off. Do you know how long it lasted? About 4 hours, and then Ala Marielle kicked off. I need this, I want that, I want the other. I don't give a fuck, you're on holiday.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Respect. Respect the charts. Respect everything. Anyway, as always, guys, trade well, keep your risk managed, but above all, do what you love, and the money will follow. See you all in the next one. Okay, guys, a quick interlude, because I'm asked on pretty much every video a couple of questions. Who do I use and what platform do I use to build small accounts? Well, it's very simple. I come to BlackBull because you can trade with any amount of money that you choose. You've got over 26,000 products. So if you're Forex, indices, shares, commodities, you're going to find it. And they've got excellent world-leading leverage, which you can use to open up an asset and get your positions in. And also the spreads are fantastic. These are the companies that I use to build up. From here, I take it over into the fivers. I have never had a problem getting paid off these, as you can see. And one of the beauties of the fivers at the moment is they're introducing new programs and platforms all the time. They've now recently come back over into the US, so you guys can now take advantage of the prop. And you've got C Trader, and you've got the 3 programs here to choose from, which are very cost effective. Now, to give you an example, there's an account there, 157. You might be thinking, wow, what's that got to do with anything? Well, it is BlackBull, but let's see where it came from. Well, if I take this right to the very top, you'll see it started with £15, and then there's all of the trades running through. Don't get it right all the time, but running through £142 worth of profit, giving me 157. Well, if that's the case, I can now go and buy a prop fund and then feed those funds back into the live to push it forward. Now, if you're interested in any of these, come along and visit my website. You will see everything that I do, and there's extra discounts and exclusive links for both the companies. And both companies use the following platforms, which is TradingView, CTrader and MetaTrader. My personal choice is MetaTrader, but it's all there for you, so you're on the same page whichever.
I'd buy that for $1.
Good luck. Catch you soon. Let's get back to the video.